to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca, also known as Evil Twin 2 on Ravelry and Instagram. You can also find me on Twitter, but I'm not there very much. Our group is I'll Knit With You on Ravelry, and you can find the show notes at the blog at illknitwithyou.blogspot.com. If you need to get a hold of me, you can email me at illknitwithyou@gmail.com. I think I said that all right. If not, it should be right there. Hi guys, how are you doing? You might notice something different. I have crazy awesome blue hair now. And there's purple in there. It's kind of hard to see because the sunlight's not in my favor on this side of my head, and that's where all the good stuff is. But, yeah, I went ahead and did it because I thought if I do it now, and I bleach my hair first, then it should be pastel by Easter, and then I'll leave a cute, adorable Easter egg. And I'm really excited about it. And the boyfriend loves it. He was like, "This is amazing. You look so great." And I've only gotten compliments about it, and I'm just really happy with it, and I think it turned out really well. So, before I'll talk more about that in just a second. Not very much more because that's what all there is to say. But first we have some new fronds. So we are at 98 members, and I told you guys when we got to 100 we would pull for a prize, and we're 2 people away. So if you haven't joined the group, go do that. And then while you're there, since you're already in the group, you should just go ahead and introduce yourself, because that's how I get to know you who you guys are. So we have KnitPicks56, who is Terry from Tennessee. We have Java Pearl, who is Cece, and she lives in Edinburgh, Scotland right now. If you watch the Geeky Girls podcast, you've probably seen her. I don't usually talk about if people are on podcasts. That's one of the bigger ones, so I figure most people probably have heard of Geeky Girls Knit. So, I don't know. I know a lot of you guys who are in the group are podcasters, so I'm not trying to neglect you. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Original Sin is Cindy from Michigan. And AnneFran25 is Anne from South Carolina. So hello, you guys. All the Canadians must have already joined, and New Yorkers, because we've stopped getting those guys. But maybe they'll get to us. I have like a hair on my arm, so I'm not trying to play with my arm. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for joining the group. If you haven't joined the group, do what I said earlier and go get to that. Now let's move on to blather. So my hair, right? I'm gonna twirl while I say it so you can see all the different colors. I used Manic Panic for the bleaching process and for the hair color, and it's awesome stuff. It's made to work together. So the bleaching stuff is not as hard on your hair as other stuff is, and you can do a yellow or a white. I went blonde. They didn't have the one that was white, and that would show the color better, so whatever. And then to get the most color sucked into your hair, you have to like wreck your hair. So I bleached it, and then instead of like shampooing and conditioning, I shampooed it twice, and then I used Dawn dish soap on it to draw out all the oils, and then I blow dried it until it was completely dry and crispy. And then I brushed it out, and it was actually really shiny and pretty. So I'll have to show you guys a picture of that sometime. So then I waited a little bit and had some dinner because I was really hungry, because this whole process took about 6 hours. And my friend Amanda, who's amazing, did all of the stuff for me. I just sat and she just worked her magic. She is not a cosmetologist, but she is like fantastic at this stuff. So the color is actually more like an inked conditioner. This is the best way to describe it. Like, it's got saturation of colors, and it's like paint, but it's also like a really thick hair mask, conditioner type stuff. So you just paint that on there where you want it, and if you want purple or blue or whatever, you just do it. You go to town. And so as time goes on, this will all fade, and it's fading a little bit now, but not very much. I left it on for like an hour. Some people sleep with it in their hair overnight because it's all vegan, and it's the color part of it isn't damaging to your hair. So that's, the longer you leave it on, the shinier and better it's going to be. But because I didn't want mine to fade within a reasonable amount of time, I didn't want to really get those colors stuck in there, because My brother's getting married at the end of May, and I have to diet back before then. I might diet back to this afterwards. We'll see. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Anyway, also in Blather, I finished reading all the Divergent books, and the ending was not quite what I was expecting. But it totally made sense. It wasn't like way out there or anything. And I also got to see the movie in theaters, and the movie's not like the books, but let me say this about that in general. When you go see a movie and the book did a part differently, or did that differently, or this differently, or they missed this part of that part, instead of being mad that they didn't exactly replicate what you saw in your mind's eye, be excited that you're experiencing another part of the story that never existed before. So like, I can't think of a good example of a book and movie thing without giving stuff away. So, but there were things that happened in the movie that never happened in the book. But it was really cool to see them on screen, because I never would have added that to the story myself, because I'm not the writer of the story. So that's how I feel about that, because being a huge movie nerd, like, they're both their own different types of media, and they deserve respect in their own different ways. And not everything from a book translates to a movie, and not everything from a movie translates to a book. So it worked out. I really liked it. But enough about non-fiber and yarn stuff. Let's move on to the good stuff, you guys. I don't have a lot to say this week. My box over here is so, like, not even full. It's sad. Last week I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many things. And this week I'm like, I got a couple of things. I don't really know. And I forgot one of those things. So, be right back. Okay, so I bought myself a new tool, sort of. It is a DVD called Drafting, the long and short of it. I got this on Netpicks on sale, so I think it was $13. That sounds right. And I just thought, hey, I'll give it a try. I don't have anyone near me that's, you can see the reflection of my camera, that's funny. I don't have anyone near me that spins, and so it's just a little, you can see like my whole room in the reflection of the CD case, the DVD case. Anyway, I'll hold it back here so it's less creepy, I don't know. I don't know anyone who spins who can teach me, so I've been teaching myself from YouTube videos, which this is a glorified YouTube video. I mean, it's well produced, but people are spinning and talking to me. But because it's a whole DVD, there's more time for her to go into specific stuff, and it's shot better than most stuff I would see on YouTube, and it was worth the money, because I have learned some new techniques I didn't know. I learned more about woolen versus worsted. Yeah. And overall, it's a great tool. I'm really glad I got this. I watched it while I was spinning one night, and I'll probably do that again some other night, because I feel like I got distracted a couple times and could be paying better attention. But the person who did it is Abby Frankmont, and she just did awesome. So if you get a chance, if you need to learn how to spin better on your spinning wheel, this is spinning wheel and not spindle spinning. This is a great tool. But if you've got someone who can teach you, I mean, I feel like a lot of this could have been replicated in person. So, I don't know. Up to you. My iPad. Okay, so I usually use my whiteboard, right? And then the Geeky Girls knit. I said it again, I know. Was talking about how she got a new iPad mini, and so she's using it for show notes. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? That makes so much sense to use an iPad for show notes. My iPad just died. It does not make sense to use iPad for show notes unless you're really good at charging it, and I'm obviously not. So anyway, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing. Sort of. So in the spinning, I finished my first half of my Ashford Damson. It is awesome. It is the colors of my hair, which I realized while I was spinning it, because I had already dyed my hair when I was watching the DVD, and I love it. So there's lots of blues and purples and whites in there, and I was trying to keep it so thin at the beginning. I was like, oh, I gotta keep this so thin. And then while watching the DVD, she said, you know, if you're doing a 2-ply and you have a lump here, or this part's thicker, or that part's not, it'll even out. Like, don't stress yourself out about it. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So I still have the other half of my fiber. I don't remember how many grams that is, because I measured it a while ago. And I would have brought it over here to show you, but it has like nothing done. It's like just, I spun for 5 minutes on it last night. It looks like this, but less. There you go. But it's going really well. And then I'll move on to some lovely orange deserty colors roving that my mom got from eBay. Mystery roving. So, going really well. That's all I have for spinning. I didn't spin any mini skeins because I'm trying to focus. Trying to narrow down. And this week in particular, I've just been like exhausted a lot lately. So I've been trying to get more sleep and not stay up late and do crafting, which makes me sad. But trying to like get in bed and calm down earlier and just be restful. Just be restful. Chill out. I have been working a lot on my socks. And these are toe-up socks with a difference. I'm doing them 2 at a time on Knit Picks Caspian's fixed circulars that are 1.5s, which is 2.5 or 1.5, whichever one sounds right. That's the one that it is. So, this is some Patton's Croy. I think it looks like a little campfire. Look at that. So my stripes are happening alternate of each other. They're going the opposite direction. So you see this is red, green, gray. Over here we've got, oh wait, where's it at? Red. I found it the other day. Like this one's gray, brown, and this one's brown, gray. So it's like, then it's gray over here, and then it's gray down here. So like they're going the opposite directions. My stripes are. That's fine. I just must have worked from 2 different ends of my yarn. I have turned my heels. I didn't do any special heels. I just the ones instructed because I really enjoy doing heel flaps. I don't know what's wrong with you people. But especially to reinforcing, I feel like I'm really hard on the clothes that I have. So if I can reinforce something, then let's do that. So it looks kind of funny, but that's what they are. My little heel flaps. I've tried them on. They fit great. I was really worried actually because I put them on when I got the bottom half of the heel flap done. Right before you do, well, the bottom part of the heel turn, right before you do the heel flap. So is that just the turn? You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't, because I barely know what I'm talking about. But it was like almost covering my entire heel, and I was like, oh no, they're going to be way too big. And I was like so sad, and I almost ripped them all out, and I was like, I just don't want to do it. And so I made the heel, and like they fit fine. I just got stressed out about nothing. So it all worked out okay. Happy with the way it's going. Just throw it on the floor. I have been so like burnt out from working really hard on everything that like I didn't even finish a Hexie Puff this week. That's embarrassing. To be fair, I started it last night at 1 in the morning because I thought I was gonna go to bed earlier than that, and I didn't. And then I was like, I'll start a Hexie Puff. So I showed you 2 Hexie Puffs last week. This is the leftover yarn from both of those. And a stitch marker that I got with my Fat Fiber box. Stitch marker. I'll turn it around so you can see the whole thing. So it's a forest color and Lulu Dallas Eternal Forest. I'm not sure. If you look in my project page for my Beekeeper's Quilt, I do have all of my yarns. All the yarns that I use and are planning to use in there. As I put them into my Hexie Puff bag, they get added to the Beekeeper's Quilt. And I just had them in their entirety because I'm going to use every last inch of that yarn. I really do. So, waste not, want not, fools. That is going great. 1 Hexie Puff. Half done. It was just taking so long. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was so, like, I was in such a bad mood last night. I was like, I just want things to be finished. Because I haven't had an FO in a really long time, it feels like. When was the last FO I had? That wasn't a Hexie Puff. You guys, it's been a while. My Giddy cardigan is going slow. I'm not grumpy. I'm really not grumpy. I feel like I sound like I'm being grumpy. Everything isn't the way I wanted it to be. No, I'm fine. I really am. I'm just been procrastinating with spinning, which is the truth of it. And so I've not been knitting as much, which is my fault. But I dyed my hair for 6 hours. I did work on my socks while my hair was dying, so my socks are feeling a lot of love. I just don't knit socks near as fast as the rest of you guys. Hold on, I'm all tangled up. While I untangle. Speaking of socks, if you are new to the group or the podcast, we are doing a March through April sock along, and it's not a contest. Okay, everyone's a winner here. It is more for people who haven't knit socks or who are really good at knitting socks and just want to get some tips from other people who do sock stuff. So there are 3 different threads. There is sock prep, where you can go and ask questions before you start your socks. Like, hey, is this yarn going to work with these needles? Or, hey, is this going to work with that? And there are people who are responding to that thread all the time. There's socket, which are like progress of socks. Like, my socks are coming along, but they're not done yet. And I have a question about heel turns, or heel flaps, or heels, or toes, or whatever. Ask your questions there. And then there is the finished socks parade, where you can post all your pictures of finished socks. So if you have finished socks sometime between March and the end of April, post them. Let me see your socks. And even if you weren't like knitting them specifically for this, post your socks. We just want to see pretty socks, you guys. Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna judge you. So here it is. It's coming along. I did like 2 rounds this week, like front and back. So like, what's 1 round, I guess, really. It's happening though. It'll get there. It's probably not gonna get there by the 31st or the 30th, whatever Marchin's on. I can't do it. And I think that's part of my problem, is I've been really stressed out about not finishing in time. And at one point I had to like kind of talk myself down, like, Rebecca, it's an internet contest. You don't even win a prize. You're not playing for points. Like, take a deep breath. It's all gonna be okay. Seriously, nothing lost. Nothing lost here. And for those of you who don't know, that is for the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup Owl. But for those of you who are in it, this is going to make sense. And for those of you who aren't, this won't make sense. I started too late to be sorted into a house. So I'm not playing for a team. I'm a not quite first year, which just means that I'm learning the ropes by doing. So I'm not going to earn any points for this one way or the other. It'll just be incomplete. And I can actually, if they do it again, enter it in as a detention owl. And finish it. And it's not that weird to not finish owls, from what I've heard. So, it'll be okay. Maybe I'll just power through on Saturday. I don't know. No, Rebecca, seriously. Calm down. That's all my FOs. I don't have any... Oh, those are not FOs. Those are my woes. Which, if you want to know why I said woes and woes, you can look on my what's the word? Show notes at the blog of outletwithyou.blogspot.com. Speaking of teams, I won a prize for my Ravelinic endeavors. And I was on Team Geeky Girls Knit. Can you tell? A little bit of a fan. Oh, that's embarrassing. On a pink card. That's so CC. And they are cute little owl buttons. And they are by... maybe there's a note, because I don't know how to say that. I want to make sure. Oh, Sky Blue Pink Designs. Here is where they are from. They are awesome looking buttons. Yeah, my fingernails are all blue, by the way, so they're not dirty. I've washed them like 6 times. They're just blue from the ink in my hair, from when I do this. Which I do all the time, you guys. When I watch my edit, I'm always like, shh, just constantly. My poor hair. Just leave it alone, Rebecca. Don't touch it. Anyway. So these are my owls, and they're cute, and I love them, and they're on a little tree. Isn't that handsome? So handsome. I don't know what I'm going to use them for yet. Probably a hat or a cowl. It's a little tree. They are darling, and I love that they're like each their own little color. So I need to find like a yarn with all these colors. I just want to put them on everything. Could I put these buttons everywhere? So that's what I want to do. And I know that This feels like a really short podcast. I'm kind of out of things to say. That's all I have for this week. If you are going to be at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival, if you're going to be at Stitches Midwest, or I think those are the only two I'm going to right now. Or if there's another fiber festival near Central Midwest area, let me know. I will be at the first two I mentioned, and I would love to meet up with you guys. I've gotten some responses about that already, and that's exciting because I would like to meet you guys in person. I don't know why I'm leaning so far forward in my chair. Ah, look at my blue hair. I've taken so many selfies, it's ridiculous. Anyway, focus. If you are gonna be I did it again, didn't I? What is going on? Okay, if you're gonna be at those, let me know. Send me a PM or direct message or whatever you guys want to call it, and I will get back to you and we can arrange some time closer to the time what we're doing. That's all I have. We're at 98. Get me to 100 and I'll pull a name for a prize. That'd be awesome. So, it's Friday. This is going to be episode 7. This is what people say at the beginning of the podcast. Not the end of the podcast, Rebecca. That's okay. This is not your average podcast, I hope. Maybe for you this is average. The iPad said I don't know what I'm supposed to say. So, you guys are awesome, and I love you, and thanks for watching. And if you're new and this was your first episode, they're usually longer than this. Go watch some of the old ones. I'm crazy. I get all sorts of hyper. So, have an awesome day, an awesome weekend, you guys. And remember, if you're bored, if you're lonely, you just need someone to listen to, I'll do it with you.